Podcasts are hot right now. How do I know? Well, you're listening to one right now, aren't you? But you might be wondering, how on earth do I get my voice out there and start my own podcast? It all seems so intimidating. Between hosting and platforms and monetization, it can get real complicated real quick. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We started this podcast over 2 years ago, not knowing clue one on how to do it. So how do we do it? We did it with Anchor. Anchor is the free podcast app with creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on all the platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And everybody likes money, right? Well, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So go right now, download the free Anchor app, or go to Anchor FM to get started.
It's the e-commerce minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart, Mroz, and John Suder. The e-commerce minute is a production of SUMO Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com.
It's e-commerce minute episode 659.
In today's episode, Walmart launches Walmart Fulfillment Services on its marketplace.
The biggest rivals in retail are at it again. Walmart and Amazon's ongoing battle for dominance just got a little more interesting. Walmart has now bridged the gap between its third-party vendors on the marketplace, allowing the company to compete better in e-commerce. The new service, called Walmart Fulfillment Services, stores, picks, packs, and ships items ordered from third parties on Walmart.com. In true Walmart fashion, the retailer said its services will be offered at one of the lowest prices on the market, and sellers will not have to pay a monthly membership fee to participate in the program. Participating marketplace sellers that use WFS will have access to 2-day shipping and, in the future, next-day delivery. The process is slated to give vendors bigger options than they currently have, where they're relegated to other third-party options or doing shipping and handling themselves. The official launch follows a pilot from a few months ago in which Walmart shipped items from a variety of categories, including fashion, footwear, and electronics. Walmart said the sellers will benefit from the service because of the lower cost to store and ship goods compared to other companies. Customers, meanwhile, will have more brands from which to choose, as well as easier returns and faster shipping process. In launching the new service, Walmart is taking on Fulfillment by Amazon, which is used by 3 out of 4 Amazon sellers and has been a healthy source of income for the company. The retailer noted that, consistent with its approach for all marketplace sellers, WFS upholds its high bar for vetting potential sellers. All sellers are required to meet specific qualifications before accepted as a viable seller. Customers will know which sellers are using WFS, as the items will be marked online as sold by seller name, fulfilled by Walmart. New and current vendors with Walmart were able to sign up starting back on February 25th. Well, I saw this one coming.
Yeah.
So I have a funny version of this, which we'll write about at some point, but here's the whole. This is awesome for Amazon.
Why so?
So I don't know if you had a chance to watch the PBS thing about Amazon.
I have not yet.
So part of that is, like, obviously they're gobbling up the market, right? Of course, the government is going to try to go after it as a monopoly type thing, right? So if Walmart releases the same thing, no longer monopoly, and then Shopify has their distribution. So if you look at it, it's actually really, really good for Amazon because they can compete at it.
Yeah, no, I guess that's a good point. I think what it does for Walmart, they're basically using all their incredible logistics capabilities and saying, okay, just make some extra space in the warehouse. Let's move these goods. I mean, I'm surprised they hadn't done this sooner. I think they were just afraid of being called a Me Too to Prime. I guess they didn't want to be accused of being another FBA, but I guess there's enough money in it now and they have their logistics worked out. So I think it's a good move by them.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely good. I mean, end of the day, Walmart is not a retailer. It's a logistics company.
Yeah,
always has been a logistics company. They're really, really good at what they do. So part of that is changing over and making it happen is not a bad thing. But that's not the only thing they've released. They released multiple things that are competing with Amazon, which I like because now it's putting into Walmart's hands a little bit more and it's distributing sort of their stuff.
Yeah, I got my fingers crossed there because we're actually going to do a story in a couple days about their subscription program that will compete with Prime. So I was a little scrambled there. But I think what's going to be interesting to look at, besides the fact that, okay, they have the logistics in place, how are they going to handle the same problems that Amazon has to deal with the weird sellers and the dodgy merchandise? It says that they're going to vet them properly, but as this thing grows, they may wind up with the same type of problem that Amazon has.
Right. And they probably will, right? I feel like Amazon's definitely a little more set up for dealing with that, and they can't catch up on it. Obviously, Walmart has bought the digital space a lot more now, but how used to are they to that kind of world? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and for sellers, it's just another marketplace. I don't think anybody's really going to care.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a win for sellers because if you're selling the same type of products, it's just another channel, another way to make money. So I think that's great for them. I mean, I'd like to check back on this one and see sales-wise how sellers compare the two services. Be interesting to look at. All right, close this one up a little stat time. Walmart's e-commerce sales in the U.S. have been growing between 35 to 41% over the last 4 quarters. That's according to Motley Fool. Last year, a report from eMarketer estimated Amazon's market share of U.S. e-commerce to reach 37.7%. Walmart was expected to increase its share to only 4.7%. And that's also Motley Fool. And finally, Morgan Stanley estimates Amazon shipped more than 5 billion packages last year, 16 times more than Walmart.com. That one's from Fox Business. And we'd like to take the time to remind you that we have another podcast called In the Ring. It's a bit different from this podcast. It's more of I'd like to say it's a variety show, but that's...
Well, it could be that.
It could be that. It's basically a long-form interview, and we touch on different e-commerce subjects. We have interviews. We have a lot of plans for the show, but for now, we're rolling out our first set of episodes, which are some interviews with e-commerce leaders, which we think are pretty good. We've even got people from the SUMO Heavy team on the podcast, letting us take a look behind the scenes of how we run the company, which I think might be interesting to some of our listeners. So give it a listen. It's on Spotify, probably on iTunes by the time you listen to this, and expanding to other platforms as it grows. That's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow.
That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion or just want to say hi, find us on social media at SUMO Heavy.